to Go to Bloated, everybody. And if you are a college football fan, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That is all we do here every single day. And send gear to represent your team and yourself to Go to Bloated. I guarantee you, if you send it to me, I will put it in my background. Send your gear to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Well, so far, another weird day of college football. This season is starting to remind me of 2007. First of all, Oklahoma is getting blown out by TCU. How that game is still going on at the making of this video, I have no idea. All the other earlier noon games are done and over with, so I'm going to talk about the other games. Oklahoma is going to get blown out by TCU, so Oklahoma has a lot of questions they need to answer today. On over to number 4, Michigan at Iowa. This was a low-scoring game, just like everybody thought, but Michigan goes into Kinnick Stadium, a hostile road environment, and beats Iowa 27-14. Hey, at least Iowa got a couple of touchdowns, right? Michigan ran the ball effectively, and they come out with a victory, undefeated, 5-0. Next up, a ranked versus ranked matchup. Number 7, Kentucky at number 14, Ole Miss. Ole Miss prevails, 22-19. Ole Miss moves to undefeated 5-0. Kentucky goes to 4-1. And this was a crazy game. Levi Lewis was 18 for 24, 220 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jackson Dart, not that great, 15 for 29, 213 yards, and 1 interception. Kentucky had 328 offensive yards. Ole Miss had 399 offensive yards, but it was the ending of the game. Kentucky seemed to have a game-winning touchdown, but that was negated by a penalty. Very next play, Will Lewis fumbles the ball, and Ole Miss escapes their own house with a victory over Kentucky. I knew if Ole Miss was going to win this game, they would have to make it a sloppy, dirty game, and that's exactly what happened. But hey, a win is a win. Ole Miss still undefeated. Purdue goes on the road and beats number 21 Minnesota, an 11.5-point favorite, and they beat them 20-10. Turnovers all over the place in this game. 3 turnovers for Purdue, 3 turnovers for Minnesota. That's what Purdue had to do to win this football game, is make it super sloppy. Even though they had 3 turnovers, they turned Minnesota over. But Purdue does survive on the road, and they beat Minnesota and give Minnesota their first loss. On over to the Big 12, Texas Tech at Kansas State. This was a wild game too. Kansas State does win 37-28. Texas Tech had more offensive yards. Donovan Smith had a good day except for 2 interceptions. 34 for 48, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. For Kansas State, through the air, Adrian Martinez did not look good at all. 12 for 19 for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. But with his legs, he took over the game. 12 carries for 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. So Adrian Martinez is going to rely on his legs, and if he does so, maybe Kansas State is a contender in the Big 12. So they back up a great win over Oklahoma on the road by coming back home and beating Texas Tech. And Texas Tech is a good team as well. So Kansas State is on their way to contending in the Big 12. They still have a long road ahead of them, but this was a good day for Kansas State following a great day last weekend. Noon games are crazy. Let's see what the 3:30 games. I'm looking at the Wake Forest Florida State game, and right now Florida State is on top 7-0, but Wake Forest is driving. Y'all let me know what you think about the noon games and what you think is going to happen in the 3:30 games. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.